All right, what's up, broskies? It's your boy Kane on the camera for the first time in a little minute. We got a spicy vampire deck for you. LOL, JK, but you'll find out what it is in just a second. Let's just jump right into it.
Also, why is the only thing you bother to learn zombies?
Huh?
Oh no! Before we get into it, like the video if you liked.
Thank you.
Before we get into it, like the video if you like the video. Consider subscribing. Follow for more subpar Yu-Gi-Oh content.
Yeah, and if you happen to really resonate with this deck, make sure you leave a comment and tell us that. Every person who comments or likes the video, I'll personally come find you and give you a kiss on the cheek.
Also, 30 likes and Kane will make a vampire deck.
Oh, there's like, Kane's gonna drop his sex tape.
Oh, please
don't. People in the comments like,
do it. Fucking
do it. All right. So,
pure vampire deck comes in.
First off, got a single Fraulein. Absolutely adore Fraulein. Just one of the most busted up cards that you can play in Zombie, but not as busted as this boy, Mizuki. This is really going in order of what I find to be like the best, the best cards. But every single one, if one is at like, if the top thing is at a 10, the rest are in the range from 9 to 10. Well, like, these are all amazing.
And before y'all come in the comments, because everybody likes to make their own tier list, he means the best for this particular deck. Not obviously the best zombie card is Doom King, but
no, it's not. It's Zombie Dragon.
It's fucking
every time it's destroyed, it comes back 13% stronger.
Yeah, but you know.
Okay,
what I mean.
then
they'll say, oh, you said Mizuki's the best.
Oh yeah, like I don't want to hear the whole like, oh, here y'all go in the comments. Oh, okay, doesn't know what he's talking about. I've been playing zombies for years now. Shut the fuck up. But this is for this specific build, and this is specifically referring to the whole zombie horde engine that we tend to play. Next up, go into Unizombie. I know what you're thinking. Here you guys go back in the comments. Oh, okay, put Unizombie below what I know is coming next. Yeah, I did. Unizombie's busted up. Unizombie is absolutely busted. But overall, I do think that Necro Banshee and Glow Up Bloom have so much utility, and they can be used like just like that. I don't need Unizombie to activate these effects. Unizombie's great to activate them, but he's not the most necessary card. There have been plenty of times where I've activated Glow Up Bloom through different effects like Yuki Musume, or just like using a Link Karibo. Nekoro Banshee can be activated right as soon as she's on the field or in the graveyard. So like, don't get it twisted. She doesn't need anyone. She's a strong, independent woman. Period. Next up, Double Doom King. Of course, one of the greatest zombies to have ever been printed. Period. Like, normal, effect, extra deck. Like, I mean, amazing. Just amazing card overall. The only thing really about this card is that you can't use this effect during the damage step, but that's fine. That's absolutely fine, because most of the stuff that's happening in this deck, most of the combos are going to be happening outside of the battle phase in general, so you really don't need his effect in damage. Next up, I know what you guys are thinking. What's you gonna come up with next? I'll tell you. Danger. Damn. And the three best ones to boot, if we're being real, these cards right here are pretty busted up. And you guys are if you've been with us for a while, you're no stranger to Dangers being incorporated into zombie builds. It's like a staple. It's like when you go on your playlist and like you're scrolling to find out what you want to listen to. Like, of course you go to Blonde by Frank Ocean. Of course you do. That's the staple. That's like, this is the standard that you've set for yourself. This is Blonde. This is Blonde, guys. That's Pink and White. And that's Solo. And that's Self-Control. Come on now. Next up, we got the Gamma package. Absolutely love it. This isn't my absolute favorite hand trap in the game, but but it is really busted up. I think me personally, I do prefer, as of right now, Ash and Ghost Bell, but Gamma and the Gamma package as a whole just works so well, so seamlessly, and has given me really great results over the past, I don't know, year? I haven't really been playing it that long. Pretty busted up card. Next up, we're going into the real meat of this deck, the mega meaty meat. So we're starting off with a Shiranui Spectral Sword, and I'll just read these off to you. I didn't have to read the previous ones, because if you don't know what they do, then you haven't been a real fan, and like, I mean, I'm gonna have to throw hands with you at the end of this video. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can target one non-tuner zombie monster in your graveyard, banish both it and this card, and if you do, special summon one zombie synchro monster from your extra deck whose level equals the total levels those two monsters had. Broken. Next up, Shiranui Spectral Sword Shade. We got 2 of those. This one right here, you contribute this card and target 2 of your banished zombie monsters except Shiranui Spectral Sword Shade, including a Shiranui monster, special summon in defense position, but their effects are negated. Also, you can't special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except zombie monsters. You can only use the effect of Shiranui Spectral Sword Shade once per turn. Pretty solid right there. But by far, probably the best one in the game. One of the best zombies ever printed. Shiranui Solitaire. And of course, as you know, you can just go ahead and tribute one zombie monster, special summon one zombie tuner with 0 defense from your deck. If it's banished, you can target one of your banished Shiranui monsters, except for this one. Or up to 2 of them if you have Shiranui Style Synthesis on the field and special summon them. You can only use the effect once per turn, but truthfully, in zombies, how many times do you need to use the effect of a monster? Not very many. Next up, Shiranui Squire. She's kind of saucy. When she's normal summon, you can special summon one Shiranui Spectral Sword monster from your hand or deck. You can't special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except for zombie monsters. If this card is banished, you can draw 1 card, then discard 1. You can only use each effect once per turn. That's really great, especially if you draw into that fucking globe, bloom down. Or just have it in your hand, honestly.
You know what I think is the best? Well, you can tell me what your thoughts. I think this deck is especially good in the mid to late game. Like,
yeah,
you know, usually from us testing, it seems like you control the board more with your Doom King.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go into the kill progressively over time.
Like later on down the line, you're able to really, whereas my Kashi was really easy to like overtake someone in the first couple turns.
Yeah. My Kashi, it seemed like you control the board for a turn, and then I'm done playing turn 2.
Yeah. Next up, you got Shiranui Spirit Master. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon one Shiranui monster from your hand or graveyard except for Shiranui Spirit Master, but banish it when it leaves the field. If this card is banished, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. You can only use the effect once per turn. You already know that. Pretty busted up. Good to clear the board a little bit. Next up, Shiranui Samurai. You can banish 1 zombie monster from your grave. This card gains 600 attack, and if it does, banish any monsters that battled this card after damage calculation. These effects last until the end of this turn. If this card is banished, you can target 1 Shiranui monster in your grave, except for Samurai. Add it to your hand. You can only use the effect once per turn. But either way, pretty busted up. Of course, as you noticed, all of these have banishment effects. So Shiranui Samurai is meant to like take advantage of those. So now we're getting into spells. Spells and traps, starting off with Foolish Burial. If I have to explain why you're playing Foolish Burial, no I don't. Then we have Double Super Poly. You already know what that means. If you're a real OG fan, you already know what that means. Do you know what this means? What's in the X? Don't answer that for them, but like, you know what it means if this is in the for game basically. Next up, we got Triple Zombie World. Have I? Triple Zombie World. Again, this is a zombie deck. If you're asking yourself, why would you play Zombie World? Rivalry of Warlords. I'm tired of you. Each player can only control one type of monster, send all other to the graveyard. And then finally, we have Shiranui style Swallow Slash.
God damn.
Boy. Tribute one zombie monster, then target 2 cards on the field, destroy them. Then banish 1 Shiranui monster from the deck. You can only activate 1 of these cards per turn. And that's fine. That's the main. By the way, there's something I was going to bring up, but I can't remember what it is right now, but I'll think of it after.
Pretty solid removal though.
Next up, gotta link Karibo. We've talked about this. Glow Up Blue?
Good English.
I mean, right there. Vampire Sucker. I'm just gonna leave that there for a second, just so you guys like get what I'm working with here.
That effect is super weird. The tributing.
Oh, when she like sucks them.
Yeah, sucks.
Yeah, so I will go back over this because it's been a while. If you attribute a monster, this is something that like I don't see anyone utilize, but if you attribute summon a monster, you can actually tribute your opponents. You can tribute a zombie monster your opponent controls, even though you don't control it, which of course, if Zombie World is active on the field, you can use her effect. A lot of people don't utilize that, and I don't know why. It's kind of dumb. I mean, we're talking about basically just turning every one of your zombies into kaijus, but fine. You can target 1 monster in your opponent's grave, special summon it to your opponent's side of the field in defense position, but it becomes a zombie monster. And if a zombie monster is special summoned from either graveyard, draw 1 card. So of course, that means 1, if you want to tribute into your Doom King, just to get rid of someone's field, make sure Zombie World's on the field. And then additionally, if you thought to yourself, oh man, I don't want to, or I don't have Zombie World, or blah, 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 you can tribute one of theirs by special summoning it back from the grave. Anytime that you special summon a zombie monster from the graveyard, which I guarantee will be a lot, you draw a card. Bust it up. Well, not every time. Once per turn. Next up, we got Avendred Savior, also known as Revendred Slayer. And you can only use each of the effects once per turn. You can target 1 Vendred card in your grave, add it to your hand. That doesn't apply here, as you know. But the second one does, and I love it. During damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can send 1 zombie from your deck to the grave. Your opponent's monster loses attack equal to the level of stars for the monster times 200. So, I mean, normally what I would do with this card, I like to have Zombie World active at all times, of course. And if I do, but I don't have a Doom King on the field, or even if I do, what I like to do is go ahead, go into battle, drop that Doom King off the rip. Your opponent's gone down by 1600. And very rarely does a monster lose 1600 attack points and still stand up to another 1600 monster. Like, that just doesn't happen. That being said, next up, we got a Topologic Trizbana, aka Trizbay. If a monster is special summoned to the zones this card points to, banish as many of the monsters as possible. Also, as many spells and traps on the field as possible. If you do, inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each of their cards banished by this effect. Curious, the Lightsworn Dominion. These cards have not been like in a profile in a while.
Yeah.
But
Curious is super good off your dangers.
Yeah.
Because they're all different types, but the same attribute. So.
Yeah, and they're easy to actually bring out, just generally speaking. Which, if this card is destroyed by battle, leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect. While its owner controls it, you can target 1 card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use each effect of Curious the Lightsworn Dominion once per turn. If this card is link summoned, you can send 1 card from your deck to the graveyard, broken, off the rip. If this card is sent from the deck to the graveyard, send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard.
So, if for some reason you didn't have access to your zombie world, by the time you get up to Curious, you just dump Banshee.
Yeah.
Off to the races.
Definitely.
So you could run Appaloosa in here too.
Next up, we got an Abyss Dweller. I'm not explaining Abyss Dweller, sorry. You should have watched our old video. I've done enough explaining for the day.
God dang.
Can I do these in reverse order right now?
No, do them in big boy order. Do them in little boy order.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Reverse order.
No, she's not the littlest though.
How's she not?
Well, are you talking about level? Just go ahead.
I meant strength.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's fine, I'll do it how it's set up. Shiranui Sun Saga. Shiranui Sun Saga. If it's special summon, you can return any number of your zombie synchro monsters that are banished or in your graveyard to the extra deck. Then you can destroy cards your opponent controls equal to the number of cards returned. Period.
Most of the time, you're gonna have at least three.
Yeah.
3 synchros, because everything's a zombie in the graveyard, a zombie on the field.
Yeah.
Zombie on the field. So.
If a zombie monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish one Shiranui monster from your graveyard instead. You can only special summon one of these per turn, but you only need one, so that's not act here. Next up, we got Shiranui Shogun Saga. No, I didn't fuck up on his name. If this card is special summoned, you can banish one zombie type monster from your graveyard. This card gains attack equal to the banished monster's original attack until the end of this turn. If this card in the field is destroyed by battle or card effect into the graveyard, you can target one banished zombie monster with 0 defense, return it to the graveyard. You can only special summon one of them per turn.
Also, if you're a decent player, you're probably thinking right now, oh, that one Spirit Master card, when it's banished, it pops one on the field.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shiranui Samurai Saga. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can target one of your banished zombie type monsters, shuffle it into the deck, and if you do, change to defense position all monsters your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to the monster. If this card is banished, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 500 attack. You can only special summon one per turn. Blah blah blah. You already know that.
So they progressively get worse.
Shiranui Squire Saga. You can only special summon Shiranui. Why'd they put that at the beginning of the text? I don't like that. Once per turn, you can banish one face-up monster you control or in your graveyard, then apply these effects in sequence, depending on what the monster was before it was banished, if it was any of these. Zombie, you can have all monsters you control gain 300. Fire, you can destroy one spell trap on the field. Synchro, you can destroy one monster on the field. Next up, we got our Psy Zombie Omega. Again, I'm sorry. I'm probably not even gonna explain these last couple of cards. Because if you don't know them, I'm sorry for your loss. Clearly, you've been taking L's for some time.
3 super poly
and I don't know what to tell you about that. But yes, we got triple super poly target. So that's really just about it for these. If you have the chance, if you have the extra time, I don't know if you have the extra time, but I am padding the time right now by explaining what you can do with this extra time. If you just want to go ahead with this extra time that I'm giving you to just press the like and subscribe button, and also like comment down below, maybe something like happiness.
Also, if we get 30 likes, then we'll give you that pure vampire / zombie horror deck profile.
Yeah, definitely.
But we'll see you next time.